Four-star edge Jamonte Waller committed to the Gators in June. But on Saturday, during Florida's game against LSU, right there in the first quarter, Waller flipped his commitment to the Auburn Tigers. Did this come as a surprise to you? It may have, but there was a lot going on behind the scenes. We're going to discuss that all today, and we're going to find out who could be the next big flip for the Auburn Tigers. So Auburn fans right now, hit subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We're growing this thing. We need you to be a part of it, so hit subscribe. Thank you. All right, let's bring on Sam Spiegelman, national recruiting analyst here at On3. Sam, Jamonte Waller flips from UF to Auburn on Saturday during the first quarter. Now, he committed to UF in June. Was this a surprise to you, or did you know that this was going to happen behind the scenes?
I think that it's been building, like you said, for several months. Jamonte Waller had a really eventful spring and then summer as his recruitment took off. And I'm sure you remember, Josh, the entire SEC came calling for Jamonte Waller. That includes Auburn, of course, but in addition to Florida, Alabama, LSU, South Carolina, Texas A&M, all wanted the four-star edge from Mississippi. He committed to the Gators on what was probably a visit high back in the summer, canceled the rest of his visits. The crazy thing is he hasn't been back to the swamp since, and that's kind of opened the door up for schools like Auburn, which not that far from Picayune, Mississippi. He's been to the Plains a few times, including this past weekend. Obviously, Auburn is recharging their defensive talent on that side of the ball. Jamonte Waller, one of the most versatile pieces in the second level in the entire country out of Picayune, a state champion defender, has his team on the cusp of another championship. A great piece for Hugh Freeze and the Tigers to add late from Florida.
Yeah, and now Waller might not be the last big SEC flip for the Tigers. They've already got DeMarcus Riddick, who they flipped from Georgia. Perry Thompson, five-star wide receiver, they flipped him from Bama. Now Auburn has five-star wide receiver Cam Coleman in their sights. He's an Aggie commitment, as you know, but he's from Phoenix City, Alabama. Sam, what are you hearing on Cam Coleman and Auburn?
Yeah, well, the timing is working out for Auburn to make its move for not only one of the best players in its backyard, but one of the best players overall in the country. Cam Coleman surprised a lot of us when he committed to the Aggies out of state over schools like Clemson, Florida State, Auburn, LSU back in the summer. A monster get for Damian Craig and Jimbo Fisher. Now that Fisher is out, schools like Auburn and also Florida State have been going full throttle to add this alpha wide receiver to their 2024 class. Before he committed to A&M, I had an RPM for Auburn. I had heard that they were in a really good spot before he committed out of state. Now that the options are dwindling and maybe Texas A&M has some work to do to keep Coleman engaged, I like Auburn's chances, along with Florida State, of possibly poaching one of the best receivers in the country.
Yeah, actually not recently. He told Chad Simmons this morning, quote, "I'm still committed to A&M, but my recruitment is still open." Take that for what it's worth, A&M fans. Auburn fans, I know how they'll see it. Now, Auburn, they also got to play a little bit of defense down the stretch, right? Trench flip targets. TJ Lindsay from IMG Academy, he's committed to Auburn. And so is offensive lineman DeAndre Carter. He's from California. However, Texas, the Longhorns are coming after both of them. Auburn trying to add more talent. At the same time, they're trying to play defense. Can they keep these important targets away from Texas?
Yeah, well, you know what, they're premium positions, and that's what happens when the calendar flips to
Right.
flip season, Josh. But so far, you have to credit Hugh Freeze and the Auburn staff. Texas made a run at both of these kids. TJ Lindsay, Texas was number 2 when he committed to the Tigers. That went back and forth until the end. DeAndre Carter has shot up the list for Texas. They are adding so much star power on the offensive line. But since returning to Auburn, you've heard a lot of the buzz about a flip kind of quiet down. I think as this cycle sort of has died down, Auburn's kind of stabilized their recruiting class. In fact, they've added Waller, and they're still in the mix. It seems like they're in a much better state than they were this time a month ago.
Yeah, a month ago, I would say that there is some trepidation there because DeAndre Carter was coming off that visit to Texas. I thought a flip was imminent, but they weathered that storm. It seems like now maybe he's a little bit more solid, but they still got to watch out for Texas Longhorns down the stretch. We'll see what happens. It's an exciting time for Auburn fans. Sam Spiegelman, thanks for stopping by the Inside Scoop.
Thanks for having me, Josh.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that content, be sure to subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We have a new page dedicated only to recruiting. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now.